Grab your background fabric and your thread cone fabric in the 2.5-inch squares, right sides together, make 2 half square triangles. You're going to sew a scant 1/4 inch on each side of the line. Hi friends, this is Tracy from the Sewing Channel. Welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. I have a darling quilt block to share with you today. It's the thread cone quilt block. I used striped fabric in this project and it looks so cute. Now if you don't have striped fabric, if you look at the blue cone right there, I actually pieced my own stripes together, giving it a different look altogether. If you'd like to make this block, go ahead and screenshot the picture on the screen right now, and that will give you the layout and the instructions that you need to make this thread cone quilt block. I'm going to use a different technique today to trim my half square triangles. One of the Sewing Channel's viewers, Holly Waddell, suggested that I trim my half square triangles before I open them because I so dislike trimming half square triangles. And if you do too, you're going to love this technique. So I first start off this way with the line of stitching at an angle there. I'm going to take that diagonal line on my ruler and I'm going to line it up with the stitch line. So that black line on my ruler is lined up exactly with the stitches on my half square triangles. And I'm well within the 2-inch mark, and I even have some hanging off here. Turn it like that. You're going to line it up the same way you did when you had it the other way. That black line is directly on my stitching line. You end up with 2 very perfect half square triangles trimmed down to 2 inches, exactly what we need, and we are loving and thanking Holly so much for this tip. If you have any tips or tricks in sewing, please leave them down in the comments. You never know when you're going to end up in my next video. If you took a screenshot of the directions, this right here are these 2-inch half square triangles that are already done, and they go this way. The next thing we're going to work on is the thread fabric here. We're going to grab our background fabric at 1.5-inch squared each. You're going to need 2 of those. This is 5 inches by 6 inches. And these are your little 1.5-inch squared pieces. This technique is called the sew and flip method. The first thing you're going to do is just draw a line corner to corner on each of them. I want to show you here, once we flip this up, you see it covers that whole corner area. And then we're going to iron this and then cut off the excess corners. So we want to keep this piece right here because that's the corner of our thread cone, and we want to get rid of these two pieces back here. I'm going to just line up my ruler at 1/4 inch right along the stitch line there, leaving 1/4 inch out this way, and I'm going to just trim those off. If we're following our diagram, here's our half square triangles that we made on the bottom row there. The center is our thread cone fabric with our 1.5 inch squared sew-in flips on the top. On the bottom row in the center of our half square triangles is a 2 inch by 5 inch cone fabric. The middle of our block on the sides, we have 2 inch by 6 inch background fabrics on this side and one on this side. In the center, we have our cone fabric. This is our cone fabric right here. This piece is now we're going to take our pieces and just give them a good press. Now we're going to sew all 3 rows together. Before I pin these 2 together and connect them, I wanted to show you right here. This will always be wider, the top of our thread cone up top here, than this part right here. But when you connect them together with the 1/4 inch seam, they will match up pretty good. see how we did. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's a little more off this way, but that's okay with me. Overall, it looks really good. We'll finger press this now open, and we'll connect the bottom row, and then we'll press everything here at the end. Looking good. Give it a good spritz and then give it a good press. Look how darling these 4 quilt blocks are together. If I added sashing down the centers and across between these thread cone quilt blocks, it would make a fabulous larger quilt block. I hope you make one. Let me know down in the comments if this is something that you might make. The final measurements on this quilt block individually, they are 8 inches by 8.5 inches high. Until next time on the Sewing Channel, take care.